9 News at 9 starts right now.
Welcome in. I'm Kyle Clark. Right now, Loveland City Council is talking about whether to reopen the city's only overnight homeless shelter for adults. It shut down this week when its temporary permit expired, leaving dozens of people with nowhere to go. 9 News reporter Rhea Giles up in Loveland for us tonight. Rhea, what is the latest on this discussion?
Yeah, right now we're outside City Hall. Right now, if you can see behind me, there is a bunch of tents. These are all the people that used to live at the Loveland South Railroad facility. They have a live stream of the meeting going on right now so they can keep up to date about what's going on inside, but they're saying that they're going to sleep and camp out here as long as they need to because they have nowhere else to go. Meanwhile, inside, the city council meeting has been very chaotic. The room was full and so was the overflow, and the first hour wasn't even about the shelter. It was spent arguing whether to adjourn the meeting altogether. Some council members said staff are working on a plan without giving any details on what that plan actually is. They eventually voted to move forward and public comment began, but it quickly turned contentious. People started making personal attacks against the council members and even their families, leading one member to go home for the night.
We didn't get going until an hour afterwards, and I think that's really taking away from what tonight is supposed to be about, is an opportunity to hear the people.
The key vote tonight is whether to extend the permit for the South Railroad facility or grant a variance of the code specifically for that facility. But no matter what's decided here, it won't reopen the shelter tonight. That means for dozens of people who use that facility, there's still no place to sleep.
You knew this was going to happen in March or April. How come you guys didn't advise us homeless so we could find a place or an opportunity to go? You wait until 30 days and then throw us to the curb?
The people who we heard speak tonight made it clear they blame city leaders for missing chances to act sooner and for still not having a plan after this week's deadline has already passed. So again, the meeting is still going on inside. There's still a number of people left to go on public comment. And then after all of that, the city will go to a vote on that vote. So we'll see how that goes and keep you guys updated as it progresses. Reporting live in Loveland, Rhea Giles, 9 News.
Just a gorgeous day along the Front Range today. Temps in the 80s, even more heat expected for tomorrow. 9 News meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen putting on a brave face even though there is no exciting weather for him to chase around the state.
No, the weather for me is pretty boring, so that is good news for almost everybody watching the tube tonight. We're going to have some real warm temperatures tomorrow. Record heat possible. The record is 88 for tomorrow. Our forecast is 86. There's been a few of the modeling runs that have been showing some of these temperatures right up in there, so we could have that come true for tomorrow, and it'll all happen under full sunshine. We're looking at maybe about 2 to 3 feet of sunshine. So I got called out on the TikTok for using that term because you can't measure sunshine like that. So let's go to the C-Rep sunshine scale. Now 1 foot would be about 3 to 4 hours of sunshine, 2 feet, 5 to 6, 3 feet of sunshine, sun up to sundown, nothing but full blue sunshine. And that's what we might see tomorrow across not only the Front Range, but also the Front Range Mountains and a lot of the eastern plains for tomorrow as these temperatures get up there very warm. So we're gonna have a relatively warm weekend. The cold front comes in here by about Saturday evening, and then we're gonna have a few days nice and October-y. I'll talk about those in just a few minutes.
Sunshine powder day tomorrow. No sign of progress in ending the government shutdown tonight as President Trump now threatens political retribution against blue states and what he calls Democratic agencies in the federal government. Senate Democrats want Republicans to restore their cuts to Medicaid and protect subsidies under the Affordable Care Act in order to reopen the government. Republicans want to continue the federal funding without any negotiations. President Trump is also threatening mass layoffs of federal workers instead of just the furloughs typically seen during government shutdowns. There are thousands of federal workers in Colorado either furloughed already without pay or working without pay. That includes military members. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj is along now with this. And Shalima, some of those military members are worried about how they're going to pay their bills, obviously, during the shutdown.
That's right, Kyle. There's rent, mortgages, and bills that will just pile up the longer this goes on. And we spoke to an organization that is providing food and mental health supports to veterans and their families, and they're helping them weather this storm however long it may last.
hopefully it won't go on for some time, but, as we saw from 2018, that is definitely a possibility.
A possibility Amy Palmer is hoping doesn't come to pass.
And, it's hard for any families, but to be wartime ready and to deal with that at the same time.
Palmer is a U.S. Air Force veteran who now works with Soldiers Angels, an organization that provides aid for military members and their families. She remembers the last government shutdown that lasted 35 days.
I have military retirement pay, I get VA disability pay. So the first question is, okay, are those things going to be impacted?
In Colorado, inflation is an issue. It simply costs more to feed a family here.
And Denver's probably seen the most increase in food of any of our markets this year and last year. And so, it costs us more to serve the same number of people.
They're already getting applications for their holiday support program.
We've had families apply for assistance because of the shutdown that had never applied and needed assistance through that program before, but they're anticipating it.
Palmer says they've learned a lot since the last shutdown, and they're ready for whatever comes next.
Our biggest concern is how long it's going to last and, how that setback is going to impact families.
Now, Amy Palmer says one group that's often forgotten about is families with loved ones who are currently deployed. Many rely on those paychecks coming in regularly. Without it, it's going to be especially tough for them. Live in studio, Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
The Department of Energy, which is led by oil and gas executive Chris Wright from Colorado, is canceling grant funds for projects nationwide. That includes $500 million for more than 30 projects here in Colorado, according to our partners at the Denver Business Journal. The grants were awarded during the Biden administration, focused on reducing greenhouse gas emissions. CSU will see the largest cuts. New York Times reports $326 million have been cut from a study to reduce methane leaks from oil and gas wells. Cuts have also hit battery recycling and microgrid upgrades in Colorado. Those grant recipients now have 30 days to appeal. The state of Colorado is expanding its electric car rebate after the Trump administration eliminated the federal incentive last month. Starting November 3rd, the state will boost its rebates to $9,000 for new EVs, $6,000 for used ones. The state says the program's helped more than 2,700 Coloradans go electric.